Number 11, the problem reads, the length of a rectangular basketball court is 6 feet shorter than twice its width. So the length is 6 feet longer, or shorter, excuse me, 6 feet shorter than twice its width. So twice its width would be 2w, and it's 6 feet shorter, so we would subtract 6. So that's the length in terms of the width. And the width, of course, is the width. So if I have a rectangular court, this is the width, here's the length, which is equal to 2w minus 6. Okay? And we know that area is equal to length times the width. But in this case, we're going to substitute the length for what the length is equal to in terms of the width. So instead of L, we'll go 2w minus 6 times w. Using distributive property, so what we're going to do is we're going to multiply the w times 2w, and then we're going to multiply the w again by 6. So here we go, 2w times w is 2w squared, and we have a minus sign. That's a square, by the way. We have a minus sign, and 6 times w is 6w. So area is equal to 2w squared minus 6w. All right. Now the area of the court is 4,700 square feet. So this area right here is 4,700 square feet. So they want you, for the C part of this, they want you to find the length and the width. So we're going to do somewhat similar to what we did in problem 9. We're going to substitute in this 4,700 for the A in our equation. So we'll go 4,700. Let's move that over just a bit so we have more room to work. Yeah, 4,700 is equal to 2w squared minus 6w. In order to use the quadratic formula, we need to make a quadratic equation where one side of the equal sign has 0. So what we'll do is we'll subtract 4,700 from the left side of the equation. And to keep equations balanced, we need to, whatever we do to one side of the equation, we need to also perform the same operation on the other side. So we'll subtract 4,700 from the right side as well. Okay? So this goes to 0. Here we have 2w squared minus 6w minus 4,700. Keeping in mind the a, b's, and c's of a quadratic equation, now we would say our a in this situation is equal to 2, our b is equal to negative 6, our c is equal to negative 4,700. Using the quadratic formula, in this case width is going to be equal to negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4 times a times c all over 2a. Now we'll go ahead and substitute the numbers or the values in for the variables. So we have w equals negative. Now that negative comes directly from the formula. Now our b is negative 6, so we're going to have negative 6, notice I put that in parentheses, plus or minus, then we have the square root and here we have negative 6 squared minus 4 times 2 times negative 4,700. Okay? Now remember, subtracting a positive is the same as adding its negative. And this is all over 2a. And so we have this is 2 times 2. All right? Going ahead on to the other side over here. So now we have w. Whoops, let's try that again. Right. So we have w. 2 negatives here make a positive. 2 negatives right here create a positive. So this becomes just 6 plus or minus the square root and negative 6 times negative 6 is a positive 36. Here we have negative 4 times 2 is a negative 8. And we have negative 4,700. And that's 2 times 2 is 4. All right, continuing on, now we have w is equal to 6 plus or minus square root we have 36. Now, a negative times a negative is a positive, so we know our answer is going to be positive. Multiply 8 times 4,700. 8 times 4,700. And we get 37,600. 37,600. And we divide that whole thing by 4. Add these, find the sum of the amount inside the square root. So now we have w is equal to 6 plus or minus the square root of 37,636 all over 4. Which is equal to 6 plus or minus, and taking the square root of 37,636, I get 194. So we're going to get 2 answers. Again, someone like we did before. And you go ahead and move things around a bit so we have room to work. Okay, we're almost done. So looking at this problem, now we've got 6. So this actually turns into 2 problems. We have w is equal to 6 plus 194 over 4, and we have w is equal to 6 minus 194 over 4. Well, considering that we're looking for a width, and the width is going to be a positive number, if I went 6 minus 194, I'm going to get myself a negative 188, and that's not going to be positive. So we can actually eliminate this as a solution. So we're looking for 6 plus 194 over 4, which takes us to 200 divided by 4, which means 50. So the width of this is 50 feet. And the length of this is going to be 2 times 50 minus 6. So we got 100 minus 6, which is 94. So that's the length of our